Okay, in module 2, we are going to talk about what happens when our kids are unkind to other kids. A lot of the same strategies that we use when our kids are unkind to us will apply to when they're unkind to other kids, including our own kids. And sometimes our kids are, mean on purpose just to do it. And sometimes it's accidental. They didn't mean to do it. They were being thoughtless. They weren't being mindful of other people. And when we watch our kids be mean to someone else, especially when they're mean to one of our other children, we can get really, really mad or irritated or frustrated, disheartened, just so down, like, oh, why can't they just be kinder to one another? Like, why are my kids so mean to each other? I get it. It can also be embarrassing when they do it in front of other people, when they do it in front of your mom or in front of your mother-in-law or, in front of the whole family at Christmas dinner and they're going at it. It can feel really embarrassing. And then we forget to act with the calmness. So again, stay calm. There's a theme, stay calm. Be the calm, be this constant, this is not gonna work. We're gonna just stay calm right here. Label their feelings, because if they're acting this way, they're probably having big emotions, and big emotions are okay. They just don't know how to express it. So say that really hurts your feelings, or you're feeling angry, or you must be really, really, really mad, or you're upset. Or if they're older and they can start to identify their own feelings, you can ask them, how are you feeling right now? What are you feeling right now? It's okay to have these big feelings. I want to talk to you about them. What's going on in your head? What's happening in your heart? You can talk to your kids about their emotions once they have the words and you've given them those words. We can also, instead of playing referee, we can be the sportscaster. Again, this was an unkind thing to say. We don't treat people this way. If somebody said that to you, how would you feel? So we can ask them. We can say, this doesn't work in our family. We don't treat people this way. You may not treat your sister this way. Instead of saying you're rude, you're mean, we're not labeling the child this way, we can label the behavior. That was a really rude thing to say. We don't talk like that in our family. And again, you can keep going back to your family rules. These are our family rules. We speak and act with kindness. The other day, my daughter just had a new line that she picked up from, I have no idea where, because we don't talk like this in our family. My son said something to her and she's like, that's not my problem, that's your problem. So, we talked about picking our battles and, there's so many things going on. These are battles we picked. And I stopped all of racing into the car to get to school on time. And I looked at her and I said, we don't talk that way in our family. We take care of each other. We speak to each other with kindness. And what you said wasn't kind. And she took a breath and she looked at her brother. She said, I'm sorry. So that goes into the next one, making amends, helping them make amends. This is not okay. What could you do to make it better? Sometimes it's apologizing. Sometimes it's getting them something to make them feel better. However your family works on making those amends, giving a hug, giving a kiss, apologizing, whatever works. But I always ask my kids, how could we fix this? And there's always more than one way. The I'm sorry, that doesn't count. So that's when we go back to that try again phrase, the magic phrase. Oh, you got to try that again, because I'm sorry is different than I'm really sorry. Same words, different meanings, right? So it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. That's another momism from my mom. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It matters. So we talk about this with our kids, and these are the battles we do pick. We also go through the think method, especially when they're unkind to their siblings. But we talk about this, oh man, was that true? Was it helpful? Was it inspiring? Was it necessary? Was it kind? And the more we do this, the more we have a measured response whenever they're unkind, but also a consistent. They don't get away with it. They're not like every once in a while they're allowed to and every once in a while they're not allowed to. We are consistent. We don't speak like this in our family. They're learning. This is a process. We're not expecting our kids to be perfect right away. We know it's not sunshines and rainbows all the time. Our kids have big emotions. They're trying to figure out how to fit into a family and how to fit into the social constructs of a playground and on a sports team. They're trying to figure it all out. We are their consistent. These are the battles that we choose to pick. We let them know that we expect kindness from them. Even when they forget, it's still, this is what we do. And we're not going to tolerate hurtful, mean, spiteful, cruel, thoughtless, right? Thoughtless, not paying attention to how other people might feel, words and actions. So we call attention to these behaviors and we pause things. We say, oh no, we can't get in the car until we figure this out because this isn't working. We don't talk like this. Or as we're piling in the car, we're having the conversation. This is not how we talk in our family. We need to fix this. And they're going to forget. Our kids are going to forget. And every once in a while, that's going to happen. And in the beginning, it's going to happen more than when they forget because you're building up a new habit. Over time, when we're consistent with this message and with this expectation, our kids will show more kindness more often with less reminders, and the intentional cruelty will diminish. Their unintentional cruelty might still stick around as they're learning what to say, they're using the think method, how to evaluate what's coming out of their mouths. Okay, in the next module, we're going to talk about what to do if you think your child is the mean girl. Remember the movie Mean Girls? So it applies to girls and boys. What to do if you think your child's a bully or showing bullying behaviors? How do you know if your kid's the mean kid at school or when you're not there to notice? I'm going to share that with you.